Good morning and welcome to another Christmas moment, coming to you from Ascension Lutheran Church in Citrus Heights. I'm Pastor Scott, and this morning I'm standing in front of our creche, the nativity scene we use here at Ascension. And if you look closely, you'll notice that Jesus is in his rightful place here in the nativity scene in front of Mary and Joseph. But if you had visited with us prior to Christmas Eve, the Christ child was not yet placed in the nativity scene because he had yet to be born. Of course, we know that he has already been born, is always with us, but as part of our Advent observation, he is noticeably absent until Christmas Eve in our nativity scene. Our reading this morning comes from the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. And it says, "In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men came from the east to Jerusalem, asking, 'Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we have observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage.'" On Epiphany, we will celebrate the arrival of these men from the east, which helps us to understand and come to a fuller understanding of the fact that Jesus was born not just for the Judeans, but for all people, even those who came from the far east. Today we marvel at the length of their journey, that these men left their homes, their jobs, at the drop of a hat, hearing the news of the arrival of this King of the Jews. They traveled a great distance, not because they knew who Jesus was already, but they heard that something amazing was happening and they wanted to pay homage to see this Christ child. Now we assume that there were three men. We don't know that. Matthew doesn't tell us that, but there were three gifts. And some refer to them as kings, but mostly that's just in the song that we sing. In Matthew's gospel, they're referred to as magi, which means learned, educated men who study the stars. They were astrologers, not fortune tellers, but those who study the night sky. It doesn't matter what they did or who they were, what their names were, but what matters is what they did, actually, is what mattered. Not what they did for a living vocationally, but what they did in the story. And they came a great distance to see the Christ child. They dropped everything to come and pay him homage. How far are you willing to go when a child is born to see that new child? How far are you willing to come to go to attend a wedding of a loved one or a friend? Will you drop everything? Most of us only drop everything at the news of a death. It makes me wonder why we prioritize that. While we were living in Chicago and my wife Robin's grandfather was having his 90th birthday, we were trying to decide if she should fly back here to California to be at the party. And my friend said something that stuck with me then and I've repeated countless times since. He said, "You'll never regret going, but you might regret not going. Not going to pay homage to this man that you love, your grandfather." And I hope that's also true in your life. And I wonder, what things do you regret not going to? How far would you come? How far have you come on this, the 6th day after Christmas? Have you already ventured very far from the manger and forgotten that Jesus was born for you? Or are you still coming? Returning to the manger, returning to the good news of the Christ child, and celebrating and worshiping him. Friends, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for another Christmas moment.